captain said whenever it should be helpful to try to make your way down the road when you can.
Max. Yeah, Max. What do I do now online?
Just talk to people, tell them you're here for Bernie.
Even if they're very young?
Yes.
Okay, well, I was actually very supportive. I did feel supported, but I'm definitely I'm proud to say Hillary supported. And I wouldn't discuss with people that are Bernie supporters. It's not really been that they keep telling me we can't trust Hillary. And I've looked at Hillary's record. She's canvassed since she was 13. She met Martin Luther King with her mother when she was 15. She's gone to
They just showed Bernie getting arrested when she was 13 for civil rights.
When she was fighting for healthcare. Yeah, and when after the assassination of Martin Luther King, she actually did hold a strike with the students because she was in college at the time. It was a 2-day strike. She worked with the Wesley students to actually bring the African Americans to work together.
Can I ask you though, does it not bother you that the Caucus Foundation and that her campaign
has spent $600 million helping women around the world to go to school?
Time out. That has accepted funds from Monsanto, from fracking, from super PACs, from the Goldman Sachs. So what I want to
against super PACs.
No. But how can she?
She's wicked smart, and she's using
How can you have a progressive agenda and be beholding for millions of dollars to all of these different groups and say you can't even have a $15 minimum wage? That's what women need. It's a $15 minimum wage.
I see that we're up against titans, and we need a fighting champion that can actually go up against.
But what would she be fighting for if she's accepting so much money from the very people?
If you look at what she's doing for climate change versus what Bernie's doing,
Monsanto,
Bernie's spending $3 billion towards climate change. Her plan.
I have a film.
Solar panels.
I have a film of her talking about how great GMOs are. GMOs are terrible. She accepted money from a fracking
if we're going to talk about genetically modified.
No, I'm talking about Roundup that Monsanto puts into genetically modified. Genetically modified foods is just a theoretical thing. What Monsanto? Do you know what Roundup is? Do you know what? Do you know what Roundup?
Mass production of food to feed all the people.
But do you know what Roundup is?
I'm saying when it comes to climate change, I'm saying that she is a fighter for climate change.
She is for fracking. You can't have climate change with fracking.
She's putting in, so in her plan,
she took money.
Thank you, Susan. 4 years of her term, she wants to bring in 500 million solar panels. That is huge.
She's for fracking. She's gone around the world telling people to frack.
We're going to see enough renewable energy to power every residential
genetically modified food with.
What I can trust her to do is I can trust her to fight for climate change. I can trust her to fight for the people because she's been doing that her entire life.
Do you want to see the thing of her talking about GMOs and fracking?
We want to talk about what she has done as First Lady, even as First Lady. We have to admit that. No, I'm
if you're going to take credit for what she did as
No. I'm not
for immigration stuff as well.
I'm not talking about
I was a kid in the 90s
not
as an immigrant, and she reduced my food stamps. I only got free lunch as a kid because her and her husband took away food stamps for kids who are immigrants.
You don't have them. You don't have.
Talk about what they want to do for immigration. Let's just talk about
have them
the first 100 days.
We obviously aren't going to agree. Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
She plans to lay down.
Agree to disagree. Thank you so much.
Read more.
Should go this way? I feel like a ping pong.
Can we take a picture? Look at it now. I'm not going to stand back.
Hi. This is how talking about GMOs
How
and
the
how
State Department sold GMO technology around the world, and this is what she had to say about it.
And you're against GMOs, and your candidate is selling GMOs.
This is just about how Hillary, how the State Department sold GMO.
No, it's not. But if you're wrong about that, you're also wrong about the environment, and you're wrong about the other. That's huge.
How do you spell GMO? It's just GMO, genetic. Yeah, it stands for genetically modified.
You're wrong. She's not the one person. Bernie Sanders has been pushing forever. That's not true. talking about fracking, which is one of the worst things that you could be selling anywhere in the world. Well, but how? It doesn't matter if you have solar energy and fracking. Fracking, all the emissions is killing everything. So you can have solar energy if you still have fracking, you're killing the planet. She's intelligent. She's just sold her soul, that's all. Everybody has funded her. How is she going to defend us against the very people she's accepted millions of dollars from? What? That's great, but so are the PACs, so is Monsanto.
Franklin Square Capital Partners who invests in fracking.
So are private prisons who lock up so many Latinos in this country? She did that?
Yes.
She takes money from private prisons. Who make money by keeping my people in prison.
So it's hard to hear, but there are subtitles, and this is just what she has to say.
And your people.
Just read the subtitles.
I believe that
This is how.
I don't hear Clinton put any of my people in prison.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think somebody else might be putting her in prison,
People with
but
the
it's not
highest.
Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely. She takes money from private prisons.
She's not putting anybody
And
in
only
prison.
after Bernie came out and said that he would end private prisons.
No, she said she stopped. She's saying she took money.
Yeah, she took money
No,
from
she
private
just said
prisons.
that she's putting people in prison. She's not putting anybody in prison.
The private prisons. Yeah.
Well, you know what you told me to come out.
Says taking money from private prisons.
But why did she accept money from the people that have it? You're so cynical if you think that you have to accept money from these people. So isn't it great to have a candidate that hasn't accepted money from all of the people?
You guys
He thinks she's not gotten anything done. I was trying to tell him that she would, that would tell him what she's done.
What has Bernie done?
Yeah,
he passed the most comprehensive veterans health care reform in recent history, and that he worked with Republicans and Democrats. You know what he's known? You know what he's known for in the Congress? He's called the Great Legislator because he gets so much done between Republicans and Democrats.
You're right about that. That's why when he was on immigration bill in 2007.
You know why he voted against that? Because it was semi-slavery. It would have accounted for guest workers. For guest workers. It would have been for guest workers where you're basically indentured servants.
Endangered servants. Wrong. Let me tell you why it's wrong. Chavez would have never supported that. I work with 500 people in the right in this country. Half of this was the provision given.
How about voting for the war? Were you for that? She voted for the war. That's a lot of people got fucked on that one.
What were you talking about?
Hillary voted for the war.
The one in 2007, they couldn't
The war
unionize.
we're
They had
still
no
in.
redress. They have the highest mortality rate, highest
She
mortality
voted
on
for
the
it. She
job.
said it was okay. That's bad.
I
That's bad
understand.
foreign
Yes,
policy.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
$15 minimum wage, she can't guarantee it.
Just because there was a few good reforms in there, that doesn't mean you should take the poison with it.
It's not
That's what I believe. That's what I believe.
The rest of the world.
Hillary Clinton was on the board of Walmart.
Do you want to come down the line?
Being that you walk with Cesar Chavez, the hero of unions, how could you possibly line with Hillary, who breaks unions? She says she's with the unions. She's with the board of Walmart, who
9
breaks
years.
unions.
9
Who
years.
breaks unions? Walmart, who breaks unions? Walmart
No,
breaks
she was on the board for 9 years. No, but when she was, they just don't have information. They're so biased.
Wait, it's shoot. One second.
Too dark in there.
The Nevada Democratic Party. That's Bernie's side.
I
Okay.
think you have to let people talk.
I'm not going to cut the whole thing.
So why Bernie?
My neighboring senator.
Because he stands for everything that I feel this country needs, and because he hasn't been paid for by everybody that's undermining what this country needs, I feel he can get more done. He's authentic. He's been in service forever, and I feel this is the last time this country's going to get a chance to support a person who hasn't already been bought by Wall Street, Monsanto, big business, super PACs, fracking, everything else. And her record, starting with voting for the war that I was against, doesn't in any ways support what I believe in.
Together, we can take
Thank
on
you.
established politics. We can ensure that when someone works 40 hours per week, they are not living in poverty. We can provide universal health